For millions of years, our ancestors walked the earth with eyes that could see, ears that could hear, and instincts that kept them alive. But survival is not the same as awareness. Somewhere, hidden deep inside the evolution of the human brain, something extraordinary happened. A silent transformation that left no fossil, no footprint, and no warning. One day, an ancient human may have stopped, not because of danger, but because of a question. A question no other creature had ever asked. Who am I? No scientist can point to the exact place or the exact moment when that question was born. Because self-awareness leaves no bones behind. It cannot be buried, photographed, or preserved in stone. Yet its fingerprints seem to appear everywhere. In the sudden rise of cave paintings that told stories instead of recording survival. In necklaces carved from shells that served no practical purpose except to express identity. And in graves where the dead were laid to rest, not as abandoned bodies, but as individuals remembered by those left behind. These discoveries suggest something remarkable. Ancient humans were no longer just reacting to the world around them. They had begun reacting to the world inside their own minds. That change may have been the greatest turning point in the history of our species. Because the moment you realize that you exist, you also begin to imagine the future. You remember the past. You wonder what other people think about you. And for the very first time,
you become capable of questioning your own thoughts. Modern neuroscience points toward a network inside the brain, often called the default mode network. It becomes active when the outside world grows quiet and the mind turns inward. This is the network linked to daydreaming, self-reflection, imagining the future, and replaying memories. It is, in many ways, the biological stage on which the story of you unfolds. But there is one mystery that science still cannot answer. Did this ability appear slowly over thousands of generations? Or did one tiny genetic change push the human mind across an invisible line? A line beyond which there was no going back. Because once a species becomes aware of itself, it can never again see the world the same way. And the evidence for that transformation may be hiding in one of the oldest discoveries ever made by archaeologists. By the time the human mind learned to ask, "Who am I?" another question quietly followed. What happens when I am gone? That single realization may have changed our species forever. Archaeologists have uncovered ancient graves dating back tens of thousands of years where bodies were placed with remarkable care. Some were buried beside stone tools, animal bones, colorful shells, and red ochre, a natural pigment often linked with blood, life, and renewal. No one knows exactly why these objects were placed there, but they suggest something extraordinary. The people performing these burials may have believed that death was not simply an ending. Because if a body was only an empty shell, why treat it with such care? This is where science meets one of humanity's oldest mysteries. The human brain had become powerful enough to imagine what could not be seen. A future, an afterlife, a memory, or perhaps a hope. Unlike any other known species, humans could carry invisible worlds entirely inside their minds. Worlds filled with beliefs, dreams, fears, and possibilities. This new ability changed everything. It allowed people to plan for seasons they had never experienced, to prepare for dangers that had not yet arrived, and to imagine inventions that did not yet exist. Every great civilization, every scientific discovery, every work of art, every story ever told, began with the same extraordinary ability, to picture something before it became real. Modern brain scans reveal that many of the regions involved in imagination, memory, and self-reflection work together, almost as if the brain is constantly writing and rewriting the story of who we are. But this incredible gift came with a hidden cost. The more deeply we understood ourselves, the more deeply we could worry, regret, feel guilt, or fear. No lion loses sleep wondering if it made the wrong decision yesterday. No eagle questions whether its life has meaning. But humans do, every single day. Because self-awareness gave us something priceless, the ability to look inward. Yet it also handed us a burden, one that no other creature appears to carry. And the deeper scientists explore the human brain, the more astonishing one possibility becomes. What if self-awareness was never the final step, but only the beginning?
What if the greatest mystery is not when humans became self-aware, but why evolution allowed it to happen? For millions of years, nature rewarded speed, strength, and survival. Yet somehow, the human brain developed something far more dangerous: the ability to question its own existence. That ability gave us science, it gave us philosophy, it gave us music, art, and every civilization ever built. But it also gave us anxiety, loneliness, regret, and the haunting awareness that every life has an ending. Researchers still debate whether consciousness is simply a product of brain activity, or whether it is something we do not yet fully understand. Despite decades of neuroscience, no laboratory has ever found the exact place where the feeling of I truly exists. Scientists can observe neurons firing, they can map memories, even predict certain decisions. Yet the experience of being you remains one of science's greatest unsolved mysteries. Perhaps the moment our ancestors became self-aware, they unknowingly opened a door that could never be closed again. Every dream you have imagined, every fear that has kept you awake, every question about your purpose exists because of that ancient transformation. Without self-awareness, there would be no history, no inventions, no poetry, no search for meaning. And maybe the most astonishing truth is that evolution did not simply create a smarter animal. It created a creature capable of looking into the universe and wondering why the universe is looking back. That question has echoed through human history for thousands of years, and even today, no one has found a final answer. Perhaps the day humans became self-aware was not the end of our evolution, but the beginning of a mystery that every single one of us is still living today.